So hello guys, today I'm gonna teach you vertical circular motion. So my dear students, this topic comes every time while you are preparing for either JEE Mains and JEE Advanced, and over the last couple of years, we saw many questions based on that particular topic. So today I'm gonna teach you how to solve these questions, or apart from that, we'll study its theory portion also. So let's just start. Vertical circular motion, or we should say motion in a vertical circle. So what exactly happened? As you can see in this roundabout, there are some persons sitting on this, and as you can see, this is moving in a vertical plane. So in this particular section, we will study everything about it. How? Let's just move on. Okay, so we will see two types of vertical motions in these sections. First of all, type 1, where normal or tension can be zero, or particle can leave circular path in between. That means what? For example, we have a massless string attached with a block. Okay, so what will happen? As you can see, the tension in the string can be zero at any point of time. Got it? Now suppose this block is moving in a vertical circle, or let's say this block is moving in a vertical circle, and at any point of time, like at this point, this string can get slack, or we can say tension is zero. But at that same point, the velocity of the block is not equal to zero. I'm going to teach you later how this process will achieve that tension is zero and velocity, why velocity is non-zero. But for example, let's just assume that tension is zero and velocity is not equal to zero. So after that, what we're going to do, the block will jump like this, like a projectile from a tower. It's as simple as that. The same case happened with this block also. It is inside a vertical circle, or we can say a vertical, for example, a vertical sphere, right? Have you heard about a wheel of death? In so many fear we saw that problem, right? In wheel of death, what will happen? There are some persons in a circus like this, and they are revolving their car like around that. Okay, so that is also a case of what? That is also a case of vertical circular motion. So the same case happened here also. Suppose at that point, normal applying by the sphere on this block is zero and the velocity is non-zero. So after that, this block can fall down like this. Simple. Okay, so that is our first case. What is the second case? Second case is normal or tension cannot be zero, or particle can never leave circular path in between. How is that possible? So instead of string, I took a rod. Okay, so if I took a rod, we know the tension in the rod cannot be zero. Rod can't break itself. So even if that point, suppose tension cannot be zero, only one case is possible. The velocity is zero. Okay, so the particle cannot leave circular path in between. Particle can move like this only. Okay, one more point. Block inside a tube. As you can see, even if normal applied by this surface is zero, the block cannot exit out of the tube. The block cannot enter out of the tube. The reason is because there is a separation. There is a tube wall which is keeping the block inside it. Okay, one more example, a bead is attached to the ring. Suppose there is a bead, and again the bead cannot leave the circular path. Okay, so we have two types of case. Type 1, normal or tension can be zero, and type 2, normal or tension cannot be zero. So how can we solve these types of questions? First, let's take the first case, right? Suppose particle is at this point making an angle theta with the vertical. Okay, now as you can see, the force exerting on the particle is mg. Another force is tension. So can we calculate the two component like mg sine theta, and another component is mg cos theta? Okay. So this mg sine theta will act as a tangential force, and the resultant of T and mg cos theta will act like a what? Will act like a centripetal force. So now you can see tangential force is mg sine theta, or you can say m into at is equal to z sine theta multiplied by m or AT is equal to G sine theta. So if in any question they ask what is the tangential acceleration of that block, so you can say directly AT is equal to G sine theta. Of course, direction will be in downward direction. Got it? Now, moving to the next point. What is the tension at any arbitrary point? So now as you can see, here the tension is acting in this direction. Mg cos theta is in this direction. So we have the net force is what? T minus mg cos theta. It will equal to mv square by L. And now as you can see, T is equal to mg cos theta plus mv square by L. Got my point, guys? T is equal to mg cos theta plus mv square by L. Now, as we know, in lower half means since 0 degree to 90 degree, we have two components. First is cos theta, second is v square. V square can never be negative because it is a square of a number. Cos theta can never be negative because theta is less than 90 degree. So we can see tension can never be 0. Why? Both terms are positive. Okay, while in upper half what? Cos theta is greater than 90 degree. So cos theta can be negative. So it may be possible at one point of time, mg cos theta is equal to mv square by L. Mg cos theta is equal to mv square by L. So now we can see in this case, what will happen? In this case, guys, as you can see, tension can be 0, but velocity can never be 0. I'll tell you later. Okay, so far we have understood two things. In lower half, tension can never be 0 because both terms are positive, while in upper half, mg cos theta term is negative, mv square by L is positive, so the tension can be 0. Got it? Next point. Velocity at any arbitrary point. We need to calculate velocity at any arbitrary point if initial velocity like this is given. And now at this point, velocity is v. Initial velocity is v naught. At this point, velocity is v. We need to calculate velocity at any arbitrary point. How can we calculate that? Let me tell you. For example, work done by tension is 0. Why? Because tension is always perpendicular to velocity. So the work done by tension is 0. If work done by tension is 0, so only gravity is working. Only gravity is working. And since only gravity is working, we can easily apply energy conservation if we assume that point. Which one? The lowest one point is potential energy 0 reference point. So what is our next point? U initial plus K initial is equal to U final plus K final. U initial is 0. K initial is half m V naught square. U final is half m V square. K final is what? Now you can see this distance is what? This distance is L cos theta. So this distance is L minus L cos theta. This will be mgl 1 minus cos theta. Sorry my guys, this is K final, this is U final. Okay, we can neglect m and we can multiply 2. So V square will get V naught square minus 2gl 1 minus cos theta. Got the point or not? Sure. Okay, moving to the next point. Tension in terms of velocity, initial velocity. So as we already studied, tension is equal to mg cos theta plus mv square by L. Now instead of v square, we can apply those formula m by L. What is the formula v square, guys? It is v naught square minus 2gl plus 2gl cos theta. We can multiply it and we got another formula. Tension is equal to mv naught square by L plus mg into 3 cos theta minus 2. Now this is very much important, guys. This formula you need to remember precisely. mv naught square by L plus mg into 3 cos theta minus 2. Remember, I told you earlier, in upper half, tension can be 0 at any point. Got it? So how can we calculate? If initial velocity is given like V naught, then how can we calculate the tension is 0 at that particular point? So you can say for T is equal to 0, we can say mv naught square by L plus 3 mg cos theta minus 2 mg barabar 0. And if we know V naught square, you can easily calculate cos theta is what? It is 2 mg minus V naught square by L divided by what? 3 mg. And let's say we just cancel out m later. Sure. Now moving to the next point. Now we got a wonderful formula mv naught square by L plus mg into 3 cos theta minus 2. Right. So mv naught square by L plus mg into 3 cos theta minus 2. We already got that. Now what we can do? We can do one more thing. How? How about calculate tension, difference of tension between two distinct points? For example, first point is this and the second point is this. Theta 1 and theta 2. Okay. That is the direct formula which was used in this JEE February exam. You can see how we can extract questions, how questions are coming from these topics directly. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the difference of tension between two different points. First point is theta 1, second point is theta 2. Now as you can see, mv naught square by L factor gonna cancel, minus 2 mg factor gonna get cancel, only factor remain is mg 3 cos theta. So my answer is 3 mg cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. And it does not depends on initial velocity. Now you have like a sorcerer's stone in your head. You can do anything. Suppose I can say the tension at bottom, or this point is tension at top. So tension at bottom minus tension at top, it is what? 3 mg cos 0 degree minus cos 180 degree. It will be 3 mg 1 minus minus 1, and it will be 6 mg. It will be what? 6 mg. It's as simple as that, right? Okay. One more thing. What is the relation of, now as you can see from this formula, suppose tension is given at this point is 12 mg. So you can say directly tension at top is 6 mg. Tension is given is the bottommost point is 15 mg. You can say tension at the topmost point is 9 mg. That means difference between those 2 points will gonna remain constant no matter what is the initial velocity. Or one more thing, if tension at the bottommost point is less than 6 mg, then the tension at topmost point will be negative, which is not possible, guys. So that's why the minimum tension which is required at the bottommost point must be equal to what? 6 mg. Got that point? Yeah. So there is one more relation which is also useful for you guys. What? If we take sum of the tension at two diametrically opposite points. Suppose this is the point at angle theta and the another one at the angle pi plus theta. So what I can do, tension at theta and tension pi plus theta, the sum is 2 mv naught square by L minus 4 mg. That means it does not depends on theta. So what is the relation? Now I'm giving an example. Suppose at this point tension is 17 mg. At this point tension is, let's say 15 mg. So what is the tension at the diametrically opposite point? And you could say, sir, how can we calculate that? We do not have any theta, but we have an example. What? If tension at the bottommost point is 17 mg, the tension at this point must be 11 mg. And let's say this is TB, let's say this is TT. So TT plus TB, this will gonna be 28 mg. Now at this point it is 15 mg. So at this point it is 13 mg, because the sum of the tension at diametrically opposite point does not depends on theta. That's what we'll take from these two relations. Difference of tension does not depends on the initial velocity, and the sum of the tension does not depends on angle theta. Are you getting my point? Okay, you can solve the questions which already came or gonna come in your JEE exams directly on the basis of these two very good and very beautiful relations. You can simply do that. Okay. Okay, let's move to the next point. What is the limiting case? So many times we heard about is what is the limiting case? Limiting, that means that's the limit. You can't move away from that. So I told you already, tension at topmost point is 0 and tension at bottommost point is 6 mg. Tension at bottommost point cannot be less than 6 mg, because in that case, what will gonna happen? At topmost point, tension will be negative, and you know, negative tension is a myth. Okay, negative tension is a myth. Now, what we can see, tension at bottommost point is 6 mg, and we have a wonderful formula. What? T is equal to mg cos theta plus mv square by L. So let's say tension at bottommost point is 6 mg is equal to mg cos 0 degree plus mv square by L. So v square is equal to 5gl. That means velocity should be minimum velocity, as you can see, it should be root 5gl. Minimum, in place of minimum, I used to prefer limiting velocity. That is the limiting case, right? So velocity must be equal to root 5gl. Got it, guys? Now, we have some shortcut formula at every point. How? Let's say tension is equal to 6 mg, velocity is equal to root 5gl. Yeah, we already know the value of tangential acceleration. It is g sine 0 degree, that means 0. It is g sine 90 degree, that means what? G downward. Again, yahan par at is equal to 0 and the g downwards. Now regarding tension, tension here will be 3 mg, tension here will be, velocity here will be under root 3gl, tension here will be 0, velocity is equal to under root gl, and tension here will be 3 mg, velocity is equal to root 3gl. You can say, sir, how you calculated it? I can tell you. Tension you can calculate 3 mg cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. So here at this point, 3 mg cos 0 degree minus cos 90 degree. This is 0. Answer will be 3 mg. So tension will be 3 mg. What about the velocity? Velocity is equal to V naught square minus 2gl 1 minus cos 90 degree. Cos 90 is definitely 0. So it will be 5gl minus 2gl. This is V square definitely. So V is equal to under root mein gl. That is my point. Get it? So as you can see, the difference in the velocity bit at every 90 degree will be root 2gl, and the difference in the tension will be 3 mg. Right, guys? You can apply it for everywhere. For example, tension at bottommost point, I gave you, for example, 16 mg. Topmost point, it will be 10 mg. At this point, it will be 13 mg. At this point, it will be again 13 mg. Velocity is equal to, at this point it is 15 gl, this point it is under root 13 gl, this point it is under root mein 11 gl, this point it will be under root mein 13 gl. Even if I give you tension is equal to n mg, then at this point tension will be n minus 6 mg. If I give you velocity is equal to, for example, n minus 1 gl, then at this point velocity will equal to n minus, I think, 5 gl. Okay, got it? Now at this point also, tension is equal to what? N minus 3 mg, and velocity is equal to under root mein n minus 3 gl. Got it, guys? What if velocity is less than limiting case? Let's say root 2gl. So now, as you can see, if velocity is equal to root 2gl, for example, then velocity at this point will be v naught square minus 2gl 1 minus cos 90 degree. If this is 0, then velocity will be 0. So if velocity is equal to root 2gl, then particle can reach maximum up to that point only, not above than that. Okay, so what if velocity is less than that? particle will oscillate in lower half. Oscillate, guys, like this. Oscillate. Particle will oscillate in the lower half. It will not gonna reach to the upper half. That is our first criteria. Now, as you can see, particle is oscillating like this. Got the point? Now, next point. What if velocity is less than limiting case, that means root 5 GL, but it is greater than root 2 GL? Then definitely we all see particle will reach to the upper half. Then at one point of time, tension will be 0. And after that, it will move what? On projectile motion path. It will move on projectile motion path. It's clear? So, for example, tension is what? Tension at that point, we can already see it will be mg cos theta. Is it? No. It will be mv naught square by L plus 3 mg cos theta minus 2 mg. That is the case. Okay. Something like this. Now, as you can see in this particular diagram, I gave you an animation of that, right? The particle keeps on moving, and after that, at that point, it keeps on jumping like a projectile motion. At this point, right? Now you can see particle do projectile motion like a projectile from a tower. Okay. Now we have a question. If a pendulum is released from the given position, what is the value of theta naught so that maximum value of AC and AT are the same? That is very good question, guys, and you can do it in a twist of time with a snap of finger. How? Let me tell you. What is the formula of AT? AT is G sine theta. So as theta increasing, AT will increasing, and AT means G sine theta. So at this point, AT is maximum. What is the value of AC? AC is what? AC is V square by L. So AC will be maximum when velocity is maximum. Velocity will be maximum. As you can see, AC is equal to V square by L. So as potential energy decrease, kinetic energy increase, velocity increase. So the AC will be maximum at the bottommost point. That means at this point. Now all we have to do, apply some formula. What is the value of AT max? It is G sine theta naught. What is the value of AC max? AC max is, guys, very simple. It will difference of is, I think I already told you, L into 1 minus cos theta. So the AC max will be V square by L. That means V square 2GL, right? So it will be 2GL 1 minus cos theta naught divided by L. Now you can compare both of them. Like say G sine theta naught is equal to 2G 1 minus cos theta naught. Now you know what I'm gonna do. I just cancel out G from G. Sine theta naught, I can say 2 sine theta naught by 2 cos theta naught by 2. It will be 2 into 1 minus cos theta naught. It will be, I think, 2 sine square theta naught by 2. Now you can solve it further, right? One more question. A bob is projected with velocity v naught from the bottommost point as shown in the figure, where v naught is belongs to root 2 GL to root 5 GL when string makes angle 30 degree in the upper half, like this. String gets slacked and the bob leaves the circle. Now you need to calculate v naught. Again, we have a wonderful formula. What? Tension is equal to mv naught square by L plus 3 mg cos theta minus 2 mg. Now, as you can see, we need to calculate v naught. We have tension is equal to 0. Theta is equal to, I think, 120 degree. We calculated from the bottommost point. So cos theta is equal to minus half. Cos 120 is minus half. We all know that, right? We apply this. It will be mv naught square by L plus 3 mg minus half minus 2 mg. So we can say minus 3 mg by 2 minus 2 mg. I think it is 3.5. Yeah. So it will be 7 by 2 mg is equal to mv naught square by L. V naught is equal to under root mein 3.5 GL. You can solve it. Sure, guys. Second case in which we do not worry about tension. We do not take tension of tension. I used to say that like this. Okay, we do not take tension of tension. So what will gonna happen? Particle can never leave circular path. Okay, the best it can do, it will move like this, then it will follow this path and sorry guys, then again and again and again and again. How? Let me tell you guys. So in these types of question, we do not worry about tension. Only thing we need to worry about, velocity at any point should not be zero. Let me give you a perfect example. You saw that, right? In so many fairs, so many rides, many of you, if you are from Mumbai, you saw Imagica, many wonder rides, right? You can see at this particular point, the tension in this particular, you can say particular rod can never be zero, right? So the best it can do, the velocity at the topmost point is zero, right? After that, it will gonna repeat its path like this, and it will gonna perform vertical circular motion. That's a very perfect example. So what is the limiting case? For limiting case, we assume that velocity at top is zero. Now someone can say, sir, what if velocity at top is zero? Then it can move like this also. Yes, it could, but most probably it will move like this and it will complete its circular path. So if velocity at top at zero, and we already know that difference of velocity is under root 4 GL. So velocity at bottommost point is also what? Under root 4 GL. What if velocity is less than limiting case, root 2 GL? Then it will gonna perform oscillatory motion in the lower half like the previous situations. Okay. And if velocity is less than limiting case, greater than root 2 GL, but less than root 4 GL, it will gonna perform oscillatory motion in the upper half. This time there is no projectile motion, only oscillatory motion. I hope you got my point. Right, guys? Okay, we have a quick question which is based on this. Fine, what is the questions? A block of mass m is released from the top of a smooth fixed hemisphere as shown. First of all, this is fixed. The angle with the vertical where it flies off or lose contact, the velocity at the instant when it flies off, the height where it flies off. How can we calculate that? Let's see. It is at angle theta like this. This is r minus r cos theta. Okay, got it? Now, as you can see, if we consider it as a reference point, now this ball is at this position. We have a diagram, perfect diagram. This ball, this distance is r minus r cos theta. Why I'm gonna keep doing that? Because this distance is, guys, r cos theta. As you can see, this angle is theta. Now, we assume this is as reference point. Here we have a normal. Here we have a normal. Here we have a component of the mg, which is mg cos theta. So now, guys, can you say either and here mg cos theta and the velocity, let's say v. So mg cos theta minus n is equal to mv square by L. But what was the condition? It will leave contact. So normal is 0. That means v square is equal to zl cos theta. V square is equal to zl cos theta. Right? So now we got the velocity at that point. What was the first question? Yeah, velocity at the instant when it flies off. Now all we need to do, height and the angle. We can also calculate that. How? Let's say this is the reference point. U initial plus K initial is equal to U final plus K final. U initial is, guys, as you can see, it is mg r minus r cos theta plus K initial is 0. U final is 0. K final is mv square by r, or we can say it is mgl cos theta. mgr cos theta, sorry, or it will be mgr minus mgr cos theta. Got the point? Sure? Right? No, sorry. There is a slight change. Not kinetic energy is not mv square by r, guys. You should remind me. Really sorry for that slight change. So what I'm gonna do, one thing, final kinetic energy is what? Half mv square, and it will be half m v square is gl cos theta. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cancel mg, mg, mg. It will be 2r minus 2r cos theta is equal to cos theta, r cos theta, or what I'm gonna do, 2r is equal to 3r cos theta. That means what? Cos theta is equal to 2 by 3. That is your final answer. Now regarding height, you can calculate r minus r cos theta. What's the point, guys? Okay, that's it for today. I think you understood the vertical circular motion. And the next topic we're gonna take in next class. Till then, bye-bye, take care, keep on studying, and let's smile. Thank you very much, guys.